unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time. I spend a lot of time defending bad jokes, and I think it's important to defend bad jokes. It is. Humor is probably the most important aspect in life as far as I'm concerned. If you can't look at something and laugh, if you can't turn a tragedy into something funny, if you can't work that balancing act out, then what good is living at all? If you can't take the most terrible thing, the most awful thing that ever could possibly imagine, and somehow squeeze some humor out of it, that's why live. That's the whole trick to life, is being able to take the terror and turn it into something and look at it from another way and to find the absurdity in life. So I defended a lot of bad jokes, and I just defend language and the ability to joke. And I really, really don't like the joke police. I hate them. Coming around telling, when you got a room of people laughing, you have somebody coming in and telling them that what they're laughing at isn't funny. Way to go, you just ruined somebody's joy. Now, having said that, this is the part where I manifest my own hypocrisy, but with an explanation. I don't think all jokes are funny. I think some jokes are in really poor taste, and some of them just aren't funny. There's jokes that are in poor taste that are hilarious, and then there are jokes that are in poor taste that aren't funny at all, And let me describe the kind of humor I'm talking about. The kind of humor I don't like is when you point a finger at a human being who wasn't seeking, or just minding their own business, and you mock them. It's the reason why I never liked The Daily Show. I just couldn't stand it. And all the people associated with it too. Colbert, and just that really snide holier than thou. When they would do a segment, they'd find a person, a weird, eccentric type person with a strange hobby or something. And then obviously the producers would set up an interview with them, under false pretense, by, saying, oh, we're really interested, we're going to do and then they'd interview them, and they'd essentially just mock the person. They wouldn't celebrate their eccentricity, they would just mock it, and laugh at it, and make that person the butt of the joke, without even telling them, deceptively getting them in on it, saying, oh, we really like you, and then making them look like a fool. God, I've always really hated that kind of humor. And The Daily Show, Bill Maher is a lot like that too. I find that to be true amongst a lot of lefty kind of holier-than-thou academic types, just laughing, punching down, I think is what some people call that. And I really don't like it. I think it's just really gross. It doesn't make me laugh. It makes me sad. Like literally and angry. I just get angry. On the other hand, you've got a guy like Daniel Tosh, who does that web redemption thing where somebody has become a joke, an international joke for something that they did, where everybody was just laughing at them. And by the way, I don't even like that kind of stuff. Like when I see humor, people are passing around videos of people getting beat up or something terrible happen. I mean, the slip and fall thing, fine, because we all slip and fall, right? But when it's like just a video purely made to mock this person that wasn't seeking attention, it's one thing if they were seeking attention, but if they weren't, then it just makes it bad. But I love how Daniel Tosh, that web redemption thing, he's taking that person who became infamous for some wacky thing that happens that didn't make them look good, and he's pulling them into the joke and giving them some control over it. He's allowing them the chance to laugh with everyone. I find it completely dignified. That I like. I just go, that's the right way to do humor. He brings them into it. They are part of it. They get to take control over it. Their dignity is restored. Like, it's a really great concept. And even though it might be tongue-in-cheek to call it web redemption, he really is giving them redemption. That's fantastic. I like that. And I am one of those people that I think punching up is better, but only if you're really punching up. Are you poking fun of the authority, or are you poking fun of the human? I'm also one of these weird people that, one of the really hard times I have with big conspiracy theories and stuff is they rely on these secret, powerful cabals, of people that are somehow different than everybody else. They're evil, they're Satanists or whatever. And those things all might be very true. They very well may be. But I see them and I just go, 2 legs, 2 arms, little head, brain, eyeballs, saggy skin. And I just go, that's just a human. Whatever it is they're involved in, whatever it is they think they're doing to cheat the system, whatever power play they're making to get to seemingly make their 72.3 years on Earth better, it's all so silly and so human. They're going to die. They fart and they poop. They cry. They feel badly. They get hangnails. They have a favorite kind of ice cream. They get Cheeto dust on their fingers. Things stuck in their teeth. They get itchy buttholes. All those things. So, I mean, when people, even if they're punching up, supposedly, if they're going after those human elements, I don't like it. There's so much fun, absurd thing. There's so much absurdity on which to build humor. I don't think you need to. And it's so much easier to just turn the joke on yourself, laugh at your own predicament. There's so many predicaments we find ourselves in, so much ridiculous shit we go through every day. There's no reason why you can't make yourself the butt of the joke. And I find that that's the most hearty humor anyway. Like the best comedians for me and the best humor always comes from somebody making fun of themselves or not taking themselves seriously. That's when you get the really good hearty laughter. That's the kind where when you see when somebody displays that kind of humor and that kind of humility, that they're able to expose their own warts and their own flaws for a laugh. I mean, that's heroic if you ask me. That kind of vulnerability to make yourself the butt of the joke, not somebody else. So, yeah, I don't want to be the joke police, but I can be a joke critic. Make whatever kind of jokes you want. And I think people know what I'm talking about when I say that anyway, because I think people know the difference. I think they know when a joke that is mocking somebody else, it doesn't feel the same. That's not the same kind of laughter. The laughing, the hooping and hollering at somebody, getting their head bashed in or some shit, some terrible thing, and people laugh at it. It's one thing to make a joke about it later, to make it light, to try to relieve the pressure. And that's the way I've been that way my whole life. I'm the guy that shows up to a funeral with a grin on his face, cracking jokes. That's just the way I deal with tragedy, and life in general, just the whole absurdity of life, being born, coming out of a vagina, getting old, getting all squishy, having our skin get all wrinkly, decaying, then dying, and then being put in a box and crammed in the ground. I mean, the whole thing Life is just a giant setup to the punchline of death. It's tragically comical no matter what you do to look at it. But that's enough of my preaching. Whatever you think is funny, fine. But when you know you're laughing at somebody and not with them, just go with that feeling. You know you're not being the best you. It's not the best humor. Right? Am I right? Nobody comments on these podcasts. Probably because nobody listens to them. But I think I'm right. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Oh, God, now I'm sounding like a YouTube person. Comment below and tell me. I actually really am interested in how far off I am with this. I don't think I am. So, yeah, your comments are welcome. Thanks for listening.